Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. And available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you've always got. Sorry, Going In Raw Observer here is in chat, and he just said the review of the finale of W Steve W will be later today.
Wow.
I have not even publicly released it. It's not going up live really until Saturday.
Okay.
So maybe if the Raw Observer can hold off on this very special event.
So there's no spoilers involved. Absolutely
So here's the deal with that. The finale of W Steve W can't be aired on our channel here. It might get the channel taken down.
Shocking.
So we're putting it up for free.
Gratis.
And this is no stunt to get people to our Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. This is no stunt. I was not aware that one of the wrestlers in the women's title match was going to show up basically naked. I didn't know that. These are the problems that you run into as a promoter.
I simply find that not believable.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. Anyways, he said he's going to hold his metaphorical horses just tranquilo.
Yeah, tranquilo.
Wait till Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday is going to be a special day. No count out. All WWE 2K19 stuff.
We really know how to bring people to our channel.
So we booked SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's going to go up first thing Saturday morning.
Which we'll have to talk about that, the new 2K20 creations.
Yeah, man, that was cool.
I mean, they just ripped off Alex C with the Snake Man.
Snake Man Orton.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, you said Patreon will be
W Steve W finale.
And then Fun Wrestling.
Yeah, I will be putting up a short reminder video from the W Steve W control room.
Yeah.
I'll be doing that.
Oh, Epico Mondo.
Oh, no, he's back up to his shenanigans. Our new benefactor with a $10 super chat said, "Sorry, I lied. I couldn't help it." Oh, my goodness gracious. He says, yeah, Epico Mondo, he says, "I'll be good today. I'm not going to hit that super chat button." And then, within moments, he lied.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jeffrey Nguyen reminds us, Hot Ones episode with Steve Austin today. He says, it's a must-watch.
Cool.
Dang. Yeah, I gotta go tell Eric Bischoff about these hot wings.
Bischoff!
They're so hot.
Anyways.
Just like I was back when he fired me via FedEx. But I got the last laugh. Ha, ha, ha.
Anyway. New on the Patreon. I'm pretty sure we got some new Patreon members out there.
Indubitably.
I think we did.
I would think so.
Patreon meet. That's what I put in my, here we go.
That's good search criteria there.
Let's see here. John Russo. Nate Williams and Lawrence are all new patrons. Want to say thanks to all of you. At the $5 a month and up mark, you get bonus content 5 days a week. You also get that as a YouTube channel member.
Indeed.
You just click join.
There should be a button underneath the watch window thing here.
Yeah. So the NXT Fallout is in the books. I thought we could try maybe something a little bit new, a little bit fun. One thing that it's really difficult to discuss here on our NXT recap, and even the UK recap, not so much for 205, but for NXT especially, is it's difficult to speculate on stories going forward simply because so often they will film a big batch of episodes.
Like what's happening tonight.
Exactly, yeah.
There's TV tapings today and next week, or today and Friday. There's two rounds of tapings this month, I believe.
Yeah. So it's difficult to speculate because we both, we'll tune into the spoilers. I'll half forget what happens. I know sometimes you'll forget the minutia, the details, and then we'll be like, wait, did this happen? And so it's a mess. So I figure maybe because these Fallout episodes are so silly, let's see if we can speculate and predict what the next takeover, what matches will occur on the very next takeover, Larson. Of course, the next takeover is going to be happening prior to Survivor Series.
Correct, November. So we got about 3 months.
Got about 3 months
of build.
So yeah.
Well, there's a couple things to consider here, or at least one major thing to consider here. There's one thing that could potentially happen between now and the next Takeover, which would be a move to Fox Sports 1, in theory.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that they have a Full Sail taping scheduled this month and October. So it would preclude, unless they don't change how the show's filmed, by that I mean taped in advance, that would preclude a move to Fox Sports 1 until after that round of October filming takes place.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't go head-to-head with AEW at the launch of AEW's TV. Nonetheless, let's assume that everything in NXT is going to proceed as it has been normally.
Let me ask you this.
No massive changes.
You make a good point. From a business perspective, what would be the smarter thing for WWE to do? Let AEW have their moment and then come in with their own big moment a month later or whatever with the launch of NXT Live? Or at the same time, the same month, the same day that AEW launches
I know what
live?
Vince would think the best move would be. He'd probably do it the same day, same time.
Hard to argue that's not the best move, though.
Yeah.
Especially if you do something like, Seth Rollins going to NXT.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan wrestling Johnny Gargano.
Right. What would be the pros for not doing it from a business standpoint? You're running WWE. Your job is to be cutthroat. Let's take down AEW, or at least try to chip away.
Well, then if that's the
Smartest
case,
move.
you don't want to do it at the same time. You want to do it like next month. You want to do it before. You want to become
Beforehand.
entrenched Wednesday nights at that time slot.
Yeah.
Make people make that choice after they've already been watching NXT for a month.
Wow them first, and then, can you...
So, yeah, can you go to AEW after this?
Yeah.
Issue is, like most people DVR stuff anyways, live TV isn't as huge of a thing as it used to be.
Yeah, but there is a definite perception issue.
Even back in during the Monday Night Wars, I would watch Nitro live from 5 to 8 and then watch Raw afterwards, and for some reason I couldn't do that, I would record the other one on VHS tape.
But that particular attitude wasn't reflected in the ratings. Some people tuned in, some people didn't.
That's
And
one
the
reason. That's one reason
perception
why
was great.
ratings are. I think TV ratings don't carry the weight they probably used
Did
to.
you see that business story about Nielsen?
No.
I think they're up for sale,
All right.
but they have billions of dollars of debt.
I saw the about GE this morning.
And they're looking for like a ridiculous price tag, and nobody wants any part of it.
Of course not.
So now
It's
they're
an
looking.
antiquated system.
Now they're looking at like maybe splicing up the company to try to sell off bits and pieces of it.
Wow.
But like everybody is waiting because, well, like you said, it's an antiquated system that will probably at some point sooner than later be replaced by something that's far more efficient.
You would think so, because I mean, there's weight that's carried with the Nielsen name, I guess. Even though it's a totally antiquated system, it doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't account for people who DVR stuff. Obviously, cord cutters, all that.
Yeah.
So there'll be other platforms to watch stuff these days.
Yeah.
And Nielsen doesn't account for different platforms, different ways of viewing stuff.
Yeah.
So the raw ratings are down. You can use that maybe as a measure of a drop of enthusiasm, but when you take into account like Hulu numbers, people who DVR, it's hard to get an accurate number of eyeballs that are in front of your product every week, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
anyways, with that conversation out of the way, is that
this is for that's for Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Here, right in the back of this. First and foremost, we got to find out what's this next for Adam Cole. Seemingly, Johnny Gargano's out of the title scene.
Takeover War Games.
War Games.
What is this, 3, right?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be
Takeover
surprised
War
if the
Games 3.
end game for War Games is still a winner-take-all War Games match. So you can have Street Profits and Velveteen Dream and maybe whoever is next in line to contend for the NXT title taking on all of the Undisputed Era.
I'll go with Gargano because it does definitely seem like a very different. Like these have been the names.
Yeah.
So I would think that it's Gargano.
I just remember people were talking about being tired of the Cole Gargano feud leading into this last takeover.
Yeah.
Like there was like, all right, let's get this done and over with and move on.
Wait, who was saying that?
I just saw some chatter on Twitter about it.
Oh, just like internet wrestling, Twitter in general.
Yeah. So unless they have somewhere different they can take the story, I don't know if that's something they'd really necessarily pursue.
The big thing to honor Gargano. Okay, let's take Gargano out of it then. Hey, what about this? Ghoul, what about this? Last night on the Follow-It episode, Pete Dunne.
Yeah, so he won
was
the North
saying
American
he
title.
Still wants that North American title. Now that's probably just talk because he has to do an interview. What is he going to do? He doesn't know what his next plans are. Maybe.
Yeah.
But let's move Velveteen Dream over to the Adam Cole position. What if Pete Dunne wins that title off of Velveteen Dream between now and then in a big TV match? So let's put Peter Dunne with
there.
the North American title, and let's move Velveteen Dream to the title spot.
Or the alternative is, of course, Matt Riddle takes Gargano's spot. By that point, he'll be done with the Killian Dane feud.
Yeah, but that's still really. I'm not gonna say it's really early for him, but I feel like he's gonna be like the next round. I think Pete Dunne's already there. Velveteen Dream's already there. Let's keep him in that spot.
All right.
What's next for Matt Riddle? On TV, he's going to be taking Killian Dane. That's going to preclude him taking on Killian Dane 3 months from now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's another good building block for him to build the case? At some point, he has to have a match against Velveteen Dream and gets that loss back, get that win back off him.
Yeah.
So maybe that's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like Velveteen. Yeah, I don't know. Matt Riddle. I mean, you could do this. How about this? Matt Riddle versus Goldberg.
There you go. That's what someone said in chat here.
Wait, could you imagine that? What if Goldberg really wants to prove his wrestling bona fides? He's like, come on, give me a takeover match.
And you thought Regal embarrassed him.
Give me a takeover match.
All those years ago. Riddle would run circles around him.
Who was... Oh, what about this? Matt Riddle versus Kushida.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Of course, the problem with that is who the hell wins. You know what I mean?
The odds of Ciampa being back in 3 months is probably slim.
Oh,
but
that's a good one. Matt Riddle versus Ciampa or Kushida versus Ciampa.
Or put Ciampa in that match with Street Profits Velveteen Dream. He wants his title back. He never lost it.
Okay, so let's take Pete Dunne out. Let's keep Velveteen Dream there.
Yes.
And Ciampa.
Assuming he's anywhere close coming back, which is not a certainty.
What about this? How about this for a matchup? Killian Dane, if they want to make a big thing about him, versus Gargano.
That'd be good.
I like that matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how possible that is, if that's going to happen. Because, again, who wins? Oh, so much of this stuff is who wins.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
All right.
Jordan Miles, what is he going to do next?
I don't know. Prep for 205, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of feels like. It's probably going to be the case.
He's going to get a TV shot.
Oh, next should be, it should be Kushida and Gargano next. Imagine those matches.
Oh, okay. We'll take Killian Dane out.
Kushida and Gargano.
It's a good thing I did this in marker.
Totally.
It's just, you can't erase it.
Dom L says Meltzer gave Shayna and Mia 1 star. Actually, I just went through the newsletter. It's 1.5.
Oh, he gave it 1.5, so Reddit had it wrong. Still, the level. I've never been the kind of guy who's been like, oh, Meltzer and those star ratings. But man, if that dude ain't on the take for AEW, I don't know what's going on. He gave 1 3/4 to Allie versus Leva Bates, and I love Leva. You love Leva.
Yeah, she's great.
Great person. Tell me, what are your thoughts on that match?
It wasn't the best match, no. It wasn't the best. And Mia versus Shayna, it was better than that.
That was a solid match, man. That was at least a solid ass match.
It was at least 2.5.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't mind blowing, Shayna and Mia. And it was at points clunky, but I think intentionally so.
Yeah, it was a physical, ugly match. I thought that Shayna's little post in the Fallout episode, I thought the little post thing was great. She's just sitting there, she's all beat up. And all she has to say is, and still.
Yeah.
And then she walks off.
Yeah.
Going through wars.
Toughest test yet.
Oh, my goodness. What is he doing over there?
I don't know what he's doing. Doesn't make any sense.
Thought he was a big mark for NXT. Anyways.
Maybe Dave's really into the librarian gimmick. It's like, we don't see gimmicks like this anymore. I'm really into this.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyways. So we have no idea what's going on. In other words.
Of course not. Of course we have no idea.
So, Shayna... I think there's going to be some sort of stipulation match where Mia finally takes it. You don't think that's you think it's going to be?
I think Io is going to be the person to take it off Shayna. Yeah.
But do you think we're going to get Shayna versus Mia in a rematch first? Really? That's going to be done? We're going straight to Shayna versus Io
in 3 months' time.
In 3 months' time?
Yeah, potentially.
Wow.
We're going to have at least one more really great TV match between Io and Candice.
All right. Boy, I don't know. Does that put us at, what is that going to put us at, Candice versus Mia then? I don't know, man.
Maybe. No.
I don't know. I think we might be heading to the end to Shayna versus Candice.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if they do this thing with Candice and Io now, and then like 6 months down the line, or give Io a good title reign. Candice is the one that takes it off her.
That's what we always hoped that would happen between Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. They never did. There's so many stories that they set up that like they could totally circle back around to, but then it never happens because usually get called up or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So far we got Kushida versus Gargano at the next Takeover. Street Profits, Velveteen Dream, and Ciampa versus Undisputed Era for all the time. That doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense though because he's challenging. Okay.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's the match. And then
perfect first match for Ciampa to come back after a neck injury. He's being in War Games.
Hey, they put those dudes in the ring. Remember Bobby Fish came back with like a ladder match?
No, his first match back was War Games too.
War Games,
and like the third spot he took, it was like someone landed right on his bad knee.
Yeah. And then who do we got against Matt Riddle? How about this? Matt Riddle versus Damian Priest.
Oh, that's good.
3 months from now, he'll be ready. And then in the Fallout episode of that Takeover, we're going to get Keith Lee versus
Dijakovic. And then Breezango versus...
oh, no, that's going to be a Takeover match. Breezango versus... Who's going to be... Oh, well, it can't be for the tag team title. Never mind. Tag team title is still going to be in the War Games match.
Mm-hmm.
So, here is our...
If you can make sense of that.
Here it is. This is our...
it's like the scrawlings of a mad person.
This is what's going to happen. We'll put it right. We'll
put it right
over
there.
Here.
See how, based on what happens tonight, we'll see how close we are.
There we go. We'll look at that in 3 months.
Yes, we will. CEO Bizer says, "What superstar can go back to NXT and beat Shayna?"
Thank you for your generous super chat.
It'd be cool. Ronda Rousey, have Ronda versus Shayna and take at a Takeover.
Whoa! Wow.
Why not?
Oh man.
Why not?
What superstar can go back to NXT and beat Shayna? Oh man. How much would you? I would love to see Bayley go back just for one series. That'd be awesome. That'd be terrific. Anyways, let's hop into this, this batch of network episodes.
Yeah, I mentioned Breezango a few minutes ago. They kicked off the post-takeover episode of NXT, taking on Forgotten Sons. They're still pretty much Breezango. They just had new gear. Mm-hmm. But despite the fact that Johnny Curtis isn't taking a more serious approach to Fandango, it's always a blast to see him violently gyrate his hips.
He also looked very happy to be there.
Yeah, and he's in amazing shape. He looks like he dropped some weight.
He looked like he dropped weight. He looks more athletic now.
And he did a tope. I never seen him do that before.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like it wasn't quite like a takeover level match.
But it was fun.
But it was a really fun. It was probably one of the better Breezango matches I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because they did give it a bunch of time,
and they probably actually got to wrestle how they really want to wrestle.
And more importantly, exactly. And there wasn't like the vast array of comedy stuff. There was like no comedy stuff. It was all just wrestling.
Apart from some,
there was a little bit.
There was that one spot where I think Blake was trying to go for a roll up, and Fandango did that thing and then started shaking his hips. It's still funny to me.
No, it is. It is. Even during their entrance again, it wasn't quite the stank from that one time, but there is still a lot of enthusiasm to the.
Because at first he turns to the crowd that's facing hard cam to give them one thrust, and it comes back towards the camera behind Breeze, starts gyrating, air humping.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
spectacular. So there's a scrum early on where kind of like everybody's in the ring, ref's distracted. Jackson Riker comes up behind Tyler Breeze, clubs him in the back. Forgotten Sons get the upper hand from that point on. Breeze does hit a hot tag on Fandango, or goes for it, sorry, but then Riker, he pulls Fandango off the apron. Ref senses it, kicks Jackson Riker out. We get a top rope Rana and a diving headbutt from the Sons, and then Breeze pushes Cutler into Blake to break up the pin. Breezango get the upper hand. Fandango pins Blake after, I guess, is Breezango's new finish.
Yeah.
Which is Breeze does like a slingshot while Fandango's on the apron. He hits an elbow, follows with a slingshot elbow, while Breeze holds the other person in like a backbreaker position.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be cool if it was a leg drop.
I know.
But then you risk dropping the leg on the dude who's taking the move as well as Tyler Breeze underneath.
Yeah. Yeah.
That probably wouldn't feel very good.
Probably not. It was a fun match.
It was fun. It was fun seeing Breezango back.
I really want, like, now that they had their match, I want them to just rebrand, man. I just want that, and it's probably not going to happen.
Don't need to see this
I don't
anymore.
need to do. I know, man. I don't.
Grinding hips is fine, but don't need to do this.
No, yeah. Look, if you get rid of one, you got to get rid of them.
I know, that's
both.
the downside
You
of
do.
it.
Just make them more like Street Profits aren't a comedy act. They're just fun guys, you know? Breezango can be kind of the same thing. They act too character-y. I want to just...
You just want them to be them.
When Tyler came back, he sort of kept it real a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Be cool. Yeah, we need Fandango to drop the to his voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just be Johnny
Be
Curtis.
the guy that we interviewed that time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they were totally cool.
Oh, man. Super charismatic.
What makes Fandango's tope all the more impressive? Dude is tall.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
6'4",
He is.
6'3".
Yeah.
He's a tall dude.
He is.
You don't often see that level of athleticism for a dude that's that large.
That is
tall.
true. That is true.
After that, we had a ton of recaps. First, for the North American title match, that was followed by a Peter Dune interview, where you mentioned that earlier. He said, one way or the other, I'm getting that title off Velveteen Dream, North American belt. He was upset that Dream broke up the pin when he hit the bitter end on Roderick Strong. After that, a full breakdown and recap of the Breakout tournament, leading us to the finals, which was the main event for the night. After that, a tag team title match recap, followed by a Bob Fish, Kyle O'Reilly interview where they're saying they were screwed. Essentially, the legal man was not pinned.
Yeah.
Therefore, we got issue with it. They're back there looking for Regal.
Yeah, and they even did the thing where they re-showed stills from the video, not just like pictures. They showed like video stills. They did everything except for do a red circle.
Yeah.
Where you can see, and they slowed it down and everything to show that indeed the wrong man was pinned.
Next, we had an Io Shirai video package with it was like intercut with a
I
music
thought
video.
this was so cool. That song, like I wouldn't like listen to it like on the way here or anything. I found this new podcast called The Clearing. It's really good.
What's it about?
It's about this lady whose father was a criminal and like abusive and stuff, and he claimed to be. He like wrote a book about how he was reformed and stuff. But she always had a really uneasy feeling. She left home pretty early. Years and years later, she started like Googling, because they moved from town to town to town to town. Started Googling different town names that she remembers living in and looking for unsolved crimes.
Oh, dear.
And this guy left a wave because like there was like two kids that were murdered, or two like teenagers, I think, I forget, that were murdered. And then she was like, oh man, my dad totally could have done that because he worked at the school. And then it turns out like he did.
Oh my god!
And then so like this podcast is all about going back and seeing if there's any other crimes that he committed.
Oh my
because
gosh!
Apparently there potentially could have been a lot.
Wow.
It's one of those just like really well told, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So yeah, after this music video, Io Shirai music video, was really well done.
This is not music that I'd really listen to.
Yeah.
But holy crap,
It
this
worked well.
fit perfectly.
Yeah, it worked really well.
It fits so perfect in telling her story without any like, actual words. Just
Interviews
lyrics.
and everything, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it worked really well.
It was great.
After that, women's title match recap, followed by a Shayna interview where, as you mentioned, she walks backstage all beat up, and Kathy Kelly asks her a question, and she just says, Ed Still. NXT title match recap. Wish they would have showed that moment between Adam Cole and Kevin Owens as depicted in the thumbnail of this episode.
I know.
But we didn't get that. Just got to enjoy Adam Cole retaining the title.
What I really want to see for one of those watch-alongs for a Big Four pay-per-view is the Undisputed Era and Kevin Owens, and that's it. Nobody else in the room. No Pat and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I guess so, because they'd all just talk trash. While he's trying to eat his ice cream.
Oh, man.
And then the last recap was Matt Riddle and Killian Dane. And then we got the finals for the Breakout tournament, Jordan Miles versus Cameron Grimes.
Jordan Miles needs new theme music. The energy that he brings when he comes out does not match how laid back that theme music is. Like, he comes out on fire, he's all energetic, he's getting the crowd, and you just hear this super mellow theme song. It doesn't work. And then it's Tron crap.
Yeah.
They're designers. Like, the Undisputed Era's new one is really good. Or the Adam
Yeah,
Cole new one is really
it's
good.
it's interesting. I think we said this before. Like, the variety and quality of NXT Trons
Like, Damian
really runs
Priest
the gamut.
is at least inspired.
Yeah, it's motivated by character.
It's motivated, yeah. Because he's archer, a fire guy.
Yeah.
He likes fire and archery.
Archer of Infamy.
Yeah.
But like some of them are pretty good. Undisputed Era, the new ones are pretty good. Ember Moons were always great.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah.
But then a lot of them are just kind of like, really, that's the best.
Like, nah.
That's all.
Yeah.
But this match was was decent. It was good. It was fun.
Oh, I forgot to mention also. Oh, I think we mentioned earlier. Matt Riddle, Killian
No, I
Dane.
mentioned that, yes.
Okay, cool. They're going to go next week.
Yep. This is a decent enough match, though. It was Jordan Miles using his quickness advantage, working over Cameron Grimes' knee a bit, a couple dragon screw leg whips.
Yes.
And then Cameron Grimes kind of getting fighting dirty.
Yeah.
Went for the eyes, the face a number of times, being physical.
Well.
What?
Oh, he said, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I said well, and then I thought it.
Oh, all right. At one point, Miles hits his bridging German suplex, what he won his semifinal match with, but Cameron Grimes, it's hard not to say ACH and Trevor Lee. It's going to take some getting used to. Trevor Lee kicks out. There's this great spot where Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee hit like, they said it was a power slam, but it was almost like a Spanish fly. But instead of having him like this, it wasn't power slam position. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool spot. He only gets a 2. And then Cameron Grimes tries to throw Jordan Miles into the bottom turnbuckle. Jordan Miles gets his foot out, blocks it, looks at Cameron Grimes. Oh, no. No, waves his finger at him. And then he wins with a 450.
Yeah.
So, and then Regal's at the top of the ramp, meets him with his contract. He can go after any title he wants in NXT.
Yep. He's going to just go after the top title, right? That's what you do.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, right.
Until someone, I'm guessing what's going to happen is someone's going to try to get in his way.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah?
You just won. Larson, congratulations. Congratulations. You just beat Dexter Lumis to move on and win.
By the skin of my teeth.
Breakout to, literally.
Yeah.
Breakout finals.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a really good matchup at the North American title. Somebody you're like, oh, man, dude, I've got this guy's number.
It's like it's Kona Reeves, North American champion. That's an easy dub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You match up well with him, right?
Yeah.
Or you have a monster on the top title. Which do you go after?
You got to go after the top prize,
What?
man.
But you
gotta
have
go after
no
that top
chance.
prize.
You have no chance.
You go after that top prize,
This
man.
guy has attacked you in the parking lot several times, and you've been prepared each time.
All the
and
more
you've
motivation
lost.
for that guy to get his comeuppance.
It's like one of those Kimbo Slice backyard videos,
yeah.
but you're on the receiving end
No,
of
I've
Kimbo
seen those.
Slice.
Yes, I'm aware of those.
Okay? You're going to go after that, knowing that you're probably going to get just destroyed, where you have a championship waiting for you.
Listen here.
You can bide your time as champion until somebody takes this big guy out.
This is why. Beating Kona Reeves, really how impressive is that?
But you're champion.
Whereas if I step in the ring against Damian Priest, dude's power bomb, like choke slam me through a car windshield, something like that, whatever. If I go in there and put up a hell of a fight, even in defeat, I'm going to make myself looking better than just beating Kona Reeves in
But
2
here's
minutes.
the thing: you're even betting on a good performance.
I'm
This
betting
guy,
on myself.
He 3 times in the parking lot when you show up to the performance center. By the second time, you're like, I'm ready for this guy. I'm going to throw, and every time he just destroys you within moments.
That's a classic underdog story, man.
All right.
Because the match is going to play out, and by the end of
right.
it, the crowd's going to be in a fever pitch for me to be huge star, whether I win or lose.
I'll be there in the performance center gym working out with Ciampa, and you'll show up in rib tape. I'll be like,
Yeah,
look
man.
at you, FPOS.
Neck brace.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right, man. All
Go for the
right.
top prize.
Well, I like it. It's Moxie.
If you got the opportunity to go for top prize, you go for top
I
prize.
guess so.
That's
I
my
guess
attitude,
so.
at least.
Don't go for second place.
Nope.
Go for first.
Go for first. Exactly.
All right, talking about second place, NXT UK. We've got starting off with Mark Coffey versus Flash Morgan Webster, who is looking for his opportunity to get his tag team into at Cardiff.
Tag
the
title
Takeover.
picture, yes.
Yeah, so make it a triple threat. So because we know that's probably going to happen, not a lot of drama, but this is a good match.
It was all right, yeah.
I am a fan of everything in the ring of Flash Morgan Webster because he wrestles. I've said this before. He wrestles like he's not a wrestler, and I like that.
He throws his body around a lot.
He wrestles like he's just in there like for a fight, but he doesn't really know how to properly wrestle.
No, he just throws his body around.
Yeah. Even like when he jumps over people, it looks awkward.
Yeah.
But there's something very appealing about that. I think
He's
it's
getting in
cool.
better shape, too.
And he's getting a little bit better shape,
Put
too.
some muscle mass on.
He had some time off. Whenever the people have time off, they could do that.
Yeah. Well, they got that state-of-the-art facility in London now for the PC.
Yeah. So Flash Morgan Webster, I missed what 2 opportunities he needs to get through This
I
one,
missed that too.
And then
does Mark Andrews have to win something? He was there.
He already won a bunch of stuff.
But that was all before they had their talk with Johnny Saint.
Wasn't the point of this that Flash Morgan Webster then has to make up the slack? He has to fight 2 matches before Cardiff. I know. I could be completely wrong. It could be Webster.
I'm not anticipating that level of
Andrews.
Not anticipating that level of story from NXT UK. I've been conditioned to accept much less.
Wow. I hope Jim Smallman's not watching this, Larson. Well, maybe now that he's left Progress, he can
concentrate fully and then develop more stories. Yes,
on story. Maybe he was watching the show. He's like, man, I need to really get out of that Progress so I can. So, Steve and Lawson, they'll know that I'm focusing on story.
Know that my full attention creatively is on this product. Anticipate. Look forward to better stories. Anyways, Flash Morgan Webster won with a roll up. Earlier on, Mark Coffey was like selling a hammy pole.
That seemed real. He was selling it a little too. He was like,
no.
oh, God, this is killing me right now.
And then Flash Morgan Webster started to kick it a lot.
Yeah.
But that didn't really help him win. He just won the roll up. And just madness on the outside where Mark Andrews took Wolfgang out.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so yeah.
Next.
Anything
else to add?
No, that's pretty much it. No, I'm distracted by the super chat here. Poke sent us a super chat. I meant to mention this earlier. He says, when I watch a Firefly Funhouse videos, all the recommended videos are all those children's song videos. Has the same thing happened to you? I haven't noticed that, but I have a kid. Sometimes she hops on my YouTube stuff. So, I get that recommended anyways. But, yeah. No, I didn't. Man. Wouldn't that necessitate WWE, setting their, tagging it like children's stuff?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's pretty funny.
That's weird. Next, we had a Toni Storm interview talking about how excited she is for Takeover. So I'm looking forward to being in Cardiff. I'll be there. You'll be there. We'll all be there.
She just wants to party.
And then someone brought up Kaylee Ray, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, she got all quiet about Kaylee Ray. Yeah.
Then there's Jordan Devlin hanging out backstage, and suddenly a fight breaks out between Piper Niven and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, they were going at it.
They were brawling. And after that, Kenny Williams had a match against Travis Banks.
Yeah, Noam Dar was on commentary. He was pretty funny.
He was pretty funny.
I like this.
He and Nigel had some good interaction.
Yeah, they did, and he was just clowning. He was just clowning Kenny Williams the entire time. What are those tights he's wearing? They're red. He looks silly. He needs better shoes.
He does need better shoes.
Oh man, yeah, that was funny.
That was a fun match, though. Travis Banks picked up the win after Slice of Heaven and a Kiwi Crusher. Then afterwards, Banks walks up the stage towards the commentary desk and starts talking trash to Noam Dar.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has beef with Noam as well.
They both look like they just wanted to start laughing.
I know.
Because they're probably best friends backstage. I think all these guys are best friends.
I think so. I think
they've all been
friends.
training together since they were like 9.
Yes.
5
after
years
that,
ago.
Nina Samuels versus Isla Dawn. This was actually a really fun match.
I was about to say, this was a really cool match.
That was really good.
I like this one. Isla Dawn can go.
Yeah.
I like her. And so can Nina Samuels.
Yeah.
Nina Samuels picked up the win with a Nina Garoshi.
Yeah.
It's a good name for a finish right there.
Well, it's Ushi Garoshi, but
Ushi
instead of
Garoshi.
Ushi, it's Nina.
Nina. Yeah, that's good. What name would you incorporate? What move name would you incorporate Larson as part of the move name? Like, for example, Larson Bomb, Larson Cutter.
Yeah, Larson Driver, something like that, yes.
Steve KO.
Yeah. Is there a finisher that starts with A?
The AJ Styles Clash.
All right, never mind.
That
could be like and something.
Yeah. Attitude adjustment.
Anditude adjustment.
Anditude adjustment. Larson-tude adjustment.
That's a stretch.
And a Bama Slam.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, none of that's good.
I'll just do a submission finish and call it stretch.
And you would just be yelling out the whole time. Stretch. Stop saying that.
Stretch. Next, we had Sid Scala do all the talking with Johnny Saint standing next to him for most of it to announce that after what happened at the Download Festival, we're getting Joe Coffey versus Bomber Dave Mastiff at Cardiff. Last man standing. That'll be good.
That'll be really good.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this next part.
This was definitely.
So I was watching. I had to go home yesterday to keep an eye on my kids while my wife did some stuff.
Yeah.
And so they were there watching UK with me.
Yeah.
And so this came on.
Yeah.
And my youngest was legit horrified of Walter. She turns to me and goes, "I don't like this." And I said, "It's fine. This is all pretend."
So if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's the closest thing to a wrestling training snuff
It
film.
felt like it could have been a scene from Hostel.
Exactly.
Because the lighting was like they just used the fluorescent lighting
They
in the
used
room.
the fluorescence. They also like tinted it like greenish blue.
A little bit, yeah.
It
It
was-
was very drab looking.
Very drab. It's like and all of his students, he chose like the smallest students he could possibly find. They're all super green and terrified.
Yeah.
Like I'd be yeah.
He outweighed all of them by at least individually 150 pounds.
Exactly. And so
It was like a dozen Larsons in there.
he's like going up and down the line and he's just berating them all. But like within the context that they're all a bunch of Tyler Bates.
Yeah. Well, then he says, "All right, start hitting me." So they do some European uppercuts to him.
Come on, hit me now.
And he's like, "No, do it again."
Do it again.
Who are you, Tyler Bate?
What's your problem? And he just shoves him.
Or no, you start chopping him.
That's right. That's terrible.
And you hear like the sound of a 2x4 hitting a raw turkey.
What training class is more terrifying? What we saw depicted or Stu Hart's dungeon? That grind.
I'm sure Walter doesn't really train like that.
No. I'm not talking about what's
Oh.
real. In kayfabe.
I would think the occasional chop would not be as bad as being stretched for hours on end by Stu Hart.
down in his basement.
Yeah, I would think just being down there for hours on end being stretched
Yeah.
would be way worse than taking occasional chops.
So then he starts like berating one, saying, "Tell me your name is Tyler Bate. Tell me it's
Yeah,
Tyler
he's got
Bate."
his foot on his head and stuff.
Yeah, he literally like starts stepping, squishing his head.
I know.
Tell me you're Tyler Bate now. Tell me you're Tyler Bate. I say, "Oh, I'm Tyler Bate." Get up.
I know. He was not
He
pulling
was
any
not
punches
pull-
in those chops.
I don't know.
Man.
I think for him that's a light chop.
Maybe, and those were nasty
And they were
sounding.
devastating.
Nasty.
They were
sounding.
devastating.
Even with those guys with their shirts on, it was nasty sounding.
Do you think at any point any of those guys cracked a laugh while they were
Maybe.
filming?
Maybe.
Because Walter, come on, he's probably a fun guy.
Yeah, he's probably. I wouldn't be surprised. He's actually like a really nice
He's
dude.
probably hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that was
Boy.
crazy. That was great.
Tell me your name. Who are you? Who are you? Chop. Ow.
It was great.
Yeah.
Finally, our main event. Oh no, Cassius Ohno
no.
versus Ilya Dragunov. I was actually surprised by the outcome of this match.
I was this is the best. So I know lots of other people have had a lot more experience watching the Ilya Dragunov matches. This is the first one that I was like, oh, I kind of see it now. I kind of get
Yeah,
it.
in terms of in-ring stuff.
Oh,
Totally,
sure,
totally.
yeah.
His histrionics are
Not
still,
huge on that.
Are still a little bit.
I think
much.
it's either you're cool with it or you're not. There's
Yeah.
no in between there. So
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
like,
think
oh
so.
yeah, I kind of like him. I'm just not into it. His face is weird. His history is like stuff. I'm not.
Yeah,
into
he's
that.
very stagey.
I am very willing to recognize though that this might be the situation where I'm not into it, and then a year from now he's like my favorite wrestler.
Entirely
ever.
possible.
That's incredibly likely.
It's
So
entirely possible.
Keep an eye on that.
But everything's very stylized with how he performs, and yeah, as you said, you're either into it or you're not. There's nothing very terribly naturalistic about how he presents his character in the ring and how he wrestles.
I just don't get why he's that way. Like, give me why.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Is he really a huge fan of classical music? Is that why he gets in the corner and does this? I know he has the soundtrack as his theme. I get
Yeah.
that, but still, it's like why? Why is that motivated?
Does he look weird because he's like part Chernobyl? You know.
See, there you go.
Right?
He grew up outside of Chernobyl.
Hailing from Chernobyl.
There you go.
Right?
At least that's motivation.
Right? Because he looks kind of it looks like he's got some radioactive poisoning going on
All
there.
right. He doesn't have giant gaping open wounds on
A
him.
chunk of core came flying at his face.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Ilya Dragunov.
All right.
Right?
And explains his tremendous power in the ring too, I guess. Mm-hmm. All right, whatever.
On the flip side, what American wrestler would be? What was the one on the East Coast? What was that called?
3 Mile Island.
3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
Who's a 3 Mile Island wrestler?
Well, who's someone from? That's outside of. It's like the Philadelphia area, I want to say.
Now you can kayfabe like that they're from there. They could be from anywhere. Who looks weird enough to be radioactive? Like Dijak. He looks like he might be, like his face is a bit
Let's
goofy.
go say Baron Corbin.
That's why his hair is. That's why he had to shave his head. His hair is falling out because of radioactive poisoning.
There you go. Radiation sickness.
That's good. Real good.
Baron Corbin.
Awesome.
Anyway, this is a really fun match. This is a great bit where Ono sends Ilya into the ropes. And then usually, the wrestlers turn around and run the ropes, but it was so quick that Ilya just bounced chest first in the ropes, falls back, and looks like he just slams his head to the mat.
So according to Matthew from Botchamania, of course, he tweeted out that that's something that he does fairly regularly in his matches because it just looks really cool and looks devastating.
Yeah, it does.
So that's not something that's abnormal. It wasn't like a botch
I was wondering. I didn't think that definitely wasn't a botch. I was wondering if that was the case. That was one of his normal spots that he's done. Ono follows with the leg drop that really should end the match right there. Only gets a 2 count. Ilya goes for a sunset flip powerbomb off the top rope. Ono blocks. So Ono's is like on his shoulders holding on the ropes. And then eventually Ilya overpowers him, powerbombs him anyways. A huge show of strength. Ono's working over his arm the whole match. Ilya goes to the top. Ono pushes him off right into the ring post. Back in the ring, or throws Ilya into the ring post again. Back in the ring, follows up with the roaring elbow for the win. Usually, Cassius Ono has been, for the most part, since he's come back to WWE's umbrella, been a gatekeeper. And so you have Ilya, someone who's only had like 3 matches.
And came in with a lot of fanfare.
Yes. And you have Ono going over.
Yeah.
Surprising. But great.
No, it was surprising. It was awesome. You and I are big fans of Cassius Ono.
Absolutely. And hopefully it'll offer up some sort of story for Ilya.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Cardiff is only a couple weeks away, so I kind of think that they're not going to rush that one. But maybe we'll see a rematch at Cardiff. I'd be fine with that.
They only have 5 matches on the card, though. So.
Honestly, this match was so good. Yeah. What have we got so far?
We got title match, women's title match, tag title match, and then Mastiff and Coffee. So there's only room for one more.
And didn't they say something like Noam Dar?
Well, Noam Dar said he had a guaranteed spot, but then Travis Banks said he talked to Johnny Saint, and that's not the case.
Oh, okay, cool.
That seems like takeover kickoff show.
Yeah, that could be. So yeah, it's probably too early.
Oh, it might be Piper and Rhea Ripley.
Oh, that's a good point. That's probably gonna be the thing. And this, I mean, honestly, this felt like a Cardiff level, a takeover level match.
Totally.
So yeah,
it was good stuff. 205 Live again this week was pretty awesome. Show kicked off with Jack Gallagher taking on Akira Tozawa. Brian Kendrick's out ringside with Akira. There's this great bit where Jack kind of does a double leg kick upwards on Akira and it sends him in the ring post. He goes out to the floor and Akira's busted open. He's got a cut in his head, bleeding. He beats the 10 count and the ref goes over and checks on him, puts the glove on, and looks like he had some gauze or something to try to stop the bleeding for a bit. Gallagher goes for the pin, gets a 2 count. Akira goes up top looking for that senton. Jack avoids it, puts Akira in the gory special. Akira escapes, hits a pump kick, falls with a suicide dive, back in the ring, missile drop kick for a 2. And then Jack puts Akira on the top rope, goes for a superplex. Akira reverses, drops Jack on his face, hits his senton, gets the win. But you have Kendrick out there shaking the bottom rope in excitement. Gallagher gets his foot on it for a moment, and it seems like when Kendrick shook the rope, it bounced Gallagher's foot off.
Yeah.
So Jack Gallagher is like the man on 205 Live and never gets a clean win or loss.
Yeah. Started with that old Chad Gable thing.
After that, we had a pretty good Oni Lorcan promo where he was selling throat after being punched in it by Drew at SummerSlam.
He needs to sell sleeping under a bench more.
He does.
After that one,
he needs to be covered in leaves.
Yeah, right.
They have a patch of moss growing on him.
Some gum in his.
Yeah, some gum in the back of his head. He doesn't have hair. I know.
Right.
Yes, that's a good point. He really should. Like carry around a piece of newspaper with him all the time because that's his blanket.
Yeah. Start complaining about how WWE literally does not pay him.
I have to sleep under a bench whenever I tell
Oh, man. Sorry, I have to mention this now before I forget. But I was listening to Booker T's take on his radio show on The Fiend. And for some reason, he started talking about King of the Ring instead. And guess who he said his pick for King of the Ring was?
Who?
My boy Mac. That's what I call Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
He said, I could see it now. with the crown and the cape.
Yeah.
He said, I could just see it, King Drew.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's a good pick.
no, it's. I'll put it this way. It's the most typical pick.
Yes.
I'm not sure it's a good pick. That's why it's my pick, because I tend to go with the most typical.
Yeah.
Even though it's not necessarily one I want to see, but I think it's still.
I just hope they don't bring out. I don't
the
want
cape and the crown
in the
and
cape
the scepter
or the crown.
and
That's some hokey '90s BS.
and
I don't
the
want to see.
throne.
I don't want to see. Very rarely does anybody in the last 15 years be able to make that work. Booker T was one of them.
Booker T was the only one. Sheamus's cape was horrible.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett did nothing with his.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty funny though.
Second match of the night. Humberto Carrillo, Lince Dorado,
La
and
Lagas.
Kalisto taking on Arya Daivari and the Singh brothers. This match came about because someone attacked Grand Metalik backstage.
Yeah.
And Drake Maverick said, all right, Humberto, you're their partner now. And this match is all about the dynamic between Humberto and Lince, because a couple weeks back, Lince says he's not really lucha.
Yeah.
And they had a match and then like a double count out too.
Is Drake trolling these two guys, or does he legitimately not remember, not know?
Well, they were just all there together. Like Humberto
Yeah.
found Grand Metalik on the floor. Then Lince's like, oh, this is how I found him. And I think he said he got Humberto.
Yeah.
And Drake's like, all right, you guys are a team now.
You guys are just.
I don't think he thought about
You
it.
guys are all lucha guys. Just go out there. Whoa, Drake.
So there was a couple little testy moments where like Lince would not tag in Humberto. And at the end, Daivari walks out. Carrillo hits his finish on Sunil Singh, and then Lince tags himself in.
Well, there was one moment when they were finally on the same page.
They looked at each other and they did high flying stuff together.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, cool. The lucha guys are all in this together.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that Humberto doesn't wear a mask. It's a weird hang up for Lince to have
It really
anyways. And then they're on the same page. But then, Humberto hits his finish. Like you said, Lince tags himself in, does his finish,
So
gets
our
the
press for the win. And I really liked that they came back from commercial. Well, it was a couple things. So the referee raised their hands. It was Kalisto and Lince on one side and Humberto on the other side of him. And then after the match, like Kalisto was talking to both of them, and Humberto was like, win's a win. It's all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
You can just see like his body language and what he was saying. This kind of
reading
his lips.
It was great. As soon as the tag happened, they had a camera right on Humberto.
Yeah.
And the look on his face, it was akin to Undertaker post Goldberg match.
Yeah.
Where he was,
Yeah.
But it was more of a smile, like, oh, okay, all right, that's how it is. That's how they do things around here.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Yeah. But he's like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, it was
win's a win.
great. Yeah.
We won. It's all good.
No,
It's pretty
man.
great.
He was probably thinking about it in the car going home.
Oh, I'm gonna rip that mask off Lince so fast.
I think it's gonna be like butter. How do you say butter in Spanish?
Next is a Drew Gulak promo, saying essentially like he's trying to rid himself of the ghosts of 205 Live past in terms of his challengers.
Mantequilla.
And then part of that is defeating Oni Lorcan yet again.
Yeah.
And then we had a Tony Nese promo where he's talking about that he has to start over, starting from the bottom. Gonna have a new Tony Nese.
Yep.
New Tony Nese.
New Tony Nese.
And then our main event, Oni Lorcan versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. An infinitely better match than what we got at SummerSlam. This was awesome.
Why do you think they do this, man? They don't put this match on SummerSlam because they think that they don't have time. It's funny because in this year they had all the time in the world.
I know.
On top of that, it was in the kickoff show. They spent the entire first hour. And granted, in the first hour, nobody's there. Like, it's completely empty.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of talking heads, and I get it. That's what that's how they format the show. And
But this match was what, 20 minutes?
Roughly, yeah. You have this match on a pay-per-view. People are going to be interested in 205 Live because when given time and given opportunity to do things creatively, everybody on that show does really good work.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think I understand the priority this year really did seem to be to keep it at 3.5 hours.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Which I appreciate too.
But do a little less talking on the pre-show. Like, just dedicate that last hour to pretty much all wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was more or less all wrestling, but there were still a lot of talking head bits and still some interview bits backstage. Just do all that in the first hour.
Yeah.
Second hour, just give us one long match like this one, and then you can do the other ones about 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like you're just wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah.
when you could be having matches like this on the kickoff show and really get some eyeballs, hopefully, on 205 Live. So pretty much immediately, Oni hits a half and half on Drew. Drew rolls outside. Oni follows up with like a somersault senton off the top rope, puts Drew back in the ring, only gets a 2. Oni goes for a top rope half and half not that long after. Drew sends him to the floor, and then Drew tosses Oni throat first into the announce table.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was, yeah.
Picks him up, drops him on the corner of the apron. Again, throat first. Oni beats the 10 count. And then Drew dominates for a good stretch until Oni hits this running European uppercut, makes a comeback, hits the blockbuster, a couple other moves. Drew puts Oni in the top rope. He's up there like he's almost like he's going to go for Hurricane Rana, it looks like. Top Frankensteiner, he's punching him up there. Oni escapes, goes for a half and half. He hits it. Oni crawls over for the pin, but waits too long. Drew gets his foot on the rope. This match actually had a good amount of drama, and it was pretty good.
No, it did. One of those half and halves, or one of those suplexes. Man, freaking Drew landed around in his head.
Yeah, no. Oni starts tossing Drew around the ringside area. Back in the ring, Drew hits a roll up, only gets a 2 count. Oni goes for another half and half. Drew avoids it, rolls up, but rather than going for the pin, just continues rolling and puts Oni right in the gulag. Oni can't escape. You can't escape.
He gets the pass out.
Gets the pass out win.
Yeah.
So Drew retains in a hell of a match. Like I said, shame this wasn't on SummerSlam, because people have been eating it up.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I feel like, I mean, I'm going to go to the newsletter really quick. Meltzer usually has the ratings there, which I still want to know how he gets access to that. I want access to ratings. 205. Let's see here. No, there are no ratings this week. Or if there are, let's see here. Network. Oh, no, they are here. And it wasn't, he's only got the top 6. That's weird. It wasn't in the top 6, but it was SummerSlam. It was SummerSlam, Takeover Toronto, SummerSlam Kickoff, the 24 for Kofi Kingston, Chronicles Seth Rollins, and then SummerSlam 2018. So, yeah.
Interesting.
But no, I don't know. They do, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just happy with, maybe they already have a plan for 205.
Could be.
They're like, hey, we're going to send it to NXT.
Fold it
anyways.
into or NXT.
NXT, yeah.
Who knows?
In any event, let's answer some questions.
Yes. Johann von Wolfhausen, what if the Fiend went after Wyatt House members? Or he says the friend. I assume it means the Fiend. What if the Fiend went after Wyatt House members?
If he went after, what if they have like an NWO Fiend versus Bray Wyatt?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Man, Bray Wyatt. I think he just probably means the
Wyatt family.
Maybe the Wyatt family, or maybe, yeah, it could be Fiend versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. That'd be
Bring
a lot
back
of fun.
Luke Harper for once.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. The Fiend goes to find Luke Harper. Luke Harper's just like chilling in his house.
It's like on his couch eating some Doritos. Wayne Maker. He has a finisher idea, an atomic drop called Shove It Up Your Lars.
Oh, there you go. I kind of feel like you'd have to be like Yars. That's the Scottish way of saying ass. Arse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'd have to like, your character to be like Scottish, dude.
I guess. You want to take it that literally, I guess.
Of course.
Phil T, thank you.
Oh, whoa.
What?
Wow.
Some more Crisley news?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Todd Crisley accused of extorting daughter with sex tape. Todd's daughter is claiming to have been not the one on the TV show. Apparently there's another daughter. This is according to TMZ.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. I might have to start up like a regular Crisley news thing, either on Overrun or on my own channel. That's horrible.
That is horrible.
Let's see. What does she say? His daughter, Lindsay, who's estranged from the family, filed a police report last month in Georgia alleging her brother Chase and her father were harassing her and threatening her with a sex tape of hers she believed Chase purchased. What a sick family.
What the hell?
That's disgusting.
That is.
I got that from Cody Miles in Discord.
That's horrible. Aaron Gasper asked, top 5 dream matches for Cameron Grimes in NXT. Give me Trevor Lee versus Kushida. I think that would be spectacular.
Velveteen Dream. I'm thinking like the personality clashes. Yeah, Velveteen Dream. Mia Yim.
Okay.
I want to see intergender action with Mia Yim.
Good.
And then Keith Lee also.
Yeah, it's good.
Hafty. Can I get a shout out for my birthday? Perhaps a promo from Corbin and Undertaker on why all friendos should join the Discord server. I've been in the pits of hell. I've been dumpster diving with my brother Kane when we got drunk, and nothing is as gross as being in the Discord. Stay away from that place. It's disgusting. There's crap in the corner and pee on the floor.
I've seen worse places.
Do they have human skulls there?
Jurgen Johnson and Johnson's. Is Bray Wyatt booking going to turn to Woken Matt Hardy absolute crap booking? He's had one match. It's too soon to tell. I think it seems like everybody's really into it, though, so I think he'll be okay. Timothy Bates, top 5 occupational gimmicks for that 7-foot wrestler in NXT.
That dude is the tallest man alive, dude.
So he's got Stokely Hathaway as his manager.
Which is amazing because he's like 4 feet.
Occupational gimmicks.
Guy who cleans out your gutters.
Okay.
Because you can just go like this.
Yeah, just reach up and grab it. Yeah.
Is this your ball?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So that's good. What else would behoove you if you're tall? What's a good occupation if you're a tall guy?
Volleyball player.
No, take sports out of it.
Oh, okay.
Take sports out of it.
Maybe, or it could be this. What is a vocation that might benefit you to be shorter? However, he really wants to be that.
Oh wow!
And the problem is he's too tall.
The guy who they send into like the bowling when like the pins and stuff need to be reset manually back there.
Yeah.
Guy who just gets all stuck.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, somebody get me out of here.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we told you. Send Bob in. Bob's tiny. And you look at Bob and he's like, tiny.
Yeah. Perfect man for the job.
Yeah.
However.
Jimmy Thomas notes that Atom Bomb was built from 3 Mile Island. Perfect.
Oh.
I want an Atom Bomb versus Atom Bomb was
Brian Clark.
Is he dead?
I think so.
Which one's dead?
I think he is.
Was he one of the Chronic guys?
Yes.
Who's the other Chronic guy? It was Brian Clark.
Wasn't Brian Lee the Chronic guy?
Was Brian Lee? Was it Primetime Brian Lee? No way. Who's the other Chronic guy? Is Atom Bomb dead?
No, he's not.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, he was.
Is that Brian Clark?
Yeah, it's Brian
So
Clark.
who's Chronic?
It's him and Brian Lee. Brian Adams. Sorry, Brian
Adams. He's
sorry.
dead.
There's somebody. Brian. Yeah, he
He's
passed
dead.
away. Yes.
When did he die?
2007. He's only 43.
Bummer. Jeez,
Brian Adams.
man.
That's right. So many Brians.
Too many Brians, really.
James Francis, just me or is Ilya Dragunov just really goofy?
Yeah, he's super goofy.
Come up with a gimmick where he could be taken seriously. I think the Chernobyl one's pretty good.
Chernobyl first responder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. Also time traveler? Maybe Chernobyl enabled him to time travel.
Yeah, or he's just been like the radiation kept him like young,
but messed up.
Yeah, so he was just discovered.
He stopped aging, but after the superficial effects, the aesthetic effects of radioactive poisoning kicked in.
Yeah.
So he has to live perpetually now, forever, as kind of screwed up looking dude.
There you go. And he had no other human interaction, so that's why he became so huge with his motions and stuff. Because he had to entertain himself.
Yeah, but no, I'll rebook him so that he doesn't do that anymore. He comes in, he puts a chair in the middle of the ring, spotlight on him, and he's like, "I've got the story to tell you." And everybody's like, "We've heard your story. We've heard your Chernobyl story."
Yeah.
You will hear it again so you never forget. It was a rainy day, but it was not water raining down. It was radioactive water.
So it was water.
Just radioactive. Brandon Ultreris, do you believe The Fiend can be above titles if booked correctly, of course?
Steve Bradley said Chernobyl Liberator. What does that even mean?
I don't know what it means either.
What is a Chernobyl Liberator?
You're like, it was just me and all the dogs living on Chernobyl.
Fallout guy.
Yeah, Fallout guy. There you go.
Fallout
yeah,
guy.
Fallout guy.
Oh my God! I really want to start Fallout 4 over, but make it as Ilya Dragunov
you
now.
go.
Oh man.
Black Shadow 210 is Io Shirai's heel turn best turn this year so far. If not, who is?
Pair him. That's perfect. Alex C says Nuclear Man. Pair him with Jazzy Gobber.
There you go. Totally. Io Shirai's heel turn best turn of the year, I think.
I mean, it's definitely the best repackaged heel. Wasn't there another big heel turn thing?
Yeah, Kenta joined Bullet Club.
That was the most shocking angle in the history of pro wrestling, according to Dave Meltzer. Daniel Bryan's preceded the year. Was that before January? Because it's not as Daniel Bryan. Okay, all right.
It was before January.
Fair
Yeah, it was before Survivor Series when he kicked AJ in the front area and won the title.
Yeah.
Big Butter Jesus, where does Cameron Grimes go from here? They bill him over 205, so he's not going to 205.
That's good.
And maybe once they develop a character, I can see 6 months, maybe North American title scene. Mm-hmm. He's really good. He's got a good personality.
Yeah, I hope, man. Yeah,
Hope they do some things with him.
me too.
James Fletcher, out of every wrestler who left WWE recently, who do you see returning and making an impact? Dolph, if bodyslam.net is to be believed.
Dolph is. I'm all in on Dolph these days, man.
I know now.
He's
If you want
doing
to,
great. Isn't that crazy?
if you want to see him, you gotta go to Laugh Factory, man.
Yeah. Where's the post? Are there any more questions?
No, that was all of them. I read them all.
All right. So we're going to do something a little bit different here at the end of the show. Our good friendo, he's here in chat right now. Mason has a show, a podcast of his own called Wrestling in the Dark. You might ask yourself, why is it called Wrestling in the Dark? Mason is a blind wrestling fan. He's had a sort of progressive blindness condition where a couple of years ago he lost all of his sight. After 20 years or so of dealing with sight issues, he can't see, but he's still a wrestling fan, and he started up his own show to sort of show a different perspective, something that most of us take for granted. And recently, it was brought to our attention because of his involvement in our community and the fact that he has a show that the WWE Network update. Sort of made things a bit more difficult.
Yes.
For blind fans of wrestling, of WWE's product. So he put out like around a 6-minute video explaining the situation, and he's given us permission to run the entirety of it here on the show. And so we thought we would end the show today doing that, and maybe to give people out there a bit more perspective, a bit more appreciation, a bit more, knowledge on what it's like to live with this condition.
Totally.
So thanks to Mason for letting us do this. And it's nice to be able to use our platform to sort of maybe show some issues that expose some people to some issues that are out there that, other people deal with.
Totally.
So here we go. Thanks, Mason. And thanks
you very
everybody
much.
for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, I'm Mason. I'm a completely blind wrestling fan, and this is my podcast, Wrestling in the Dark. And today, I'm not bringing you a SummerSlam review, and that's because I haven't really got the time to do it, which I should have done. I absolutely should have done, but I didn't because of how long it took me to put on SummerSlam this morning. Hey guys, I'm Mason. I'm a completely blind wrestling fan, and this is my podcast, Wrestling in the Dark. And today, I'm not bringing you a SummerSlam review, and that's because I haven't really got the time to do it, which I should have done. I absolutely should have done, but I didn't because of how long it took me to put on SummerSlam this morning, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. So I thought that I'd tell you all why I'm super mad at WWE right now. I've had the WWE Network for a while. It's always been accessible. One of the reasons, as a fan of WWE, that I've always defended them is because of how accessible WWE has been to me. I used to be able to go on, click all shows, follow like 4 steps to get to whatever pay-per-view or episode I wanted, and then there'd be loads of clear options about watch from beginning or watch now or watch later. All that sort of stuff was all clearly labelled and really easy to use. And now this update's coming, and it's absolutely impossible. I spent 2 hours trying to put SummerSlam on today. That's half the length of the show, pretty much. I woke up, I tried to put it on at 10 a.m. and didn't get round to watching it until 12, and it was just ridiculous. I'm clicking around on it, and you click on something, I put my thumb on something, it's like SummerSlam, and then I'll try to click on it, and it'll click on something completely different, or it'll move to another part of the screen. And I click on SummerSlam, and every single time it started playing in a random place. As a result, I had the results of Goldberg versus Ziggler spoiled, which wasn't too much because that didn't really bother me quite as much, because yeah, we all knew what was going to happen there. But Owens versus Shane got spoiled for me as well, as did the main event. And I am not a fan of Brock Lesnar, so it's hard to invest in a Brock Lesnar match when you already know the result. And it was just it was just so frustrating trying to put it on and find a way to watch it. I have been struggling with trying to do these recaps because I watch the show all the way through, and the notes document that I keep gets really big, and then it's hard to scroll through and read the notes, and I get really stressed out. So I've been trying to watch a match, come record a part. But you can't go off the WWE network, because every time you go back on, it starts replaying the video, and there's no options for fast forward or rewind, and the only thing you can do is pause it. So it takes me like 2 hours to eventually find the watch from beginning thing, after I've clicked on the live stream of it. It's how I find that it says, oh, now SummerSlam, so I click on that, and it's like watch from beginning, so I get through to that finally. This is at like 12 a.m, sorry, and I finally click that, and then I realise that the controls for pausing it aren't working, so I literally could not pause it or leave the screen for the entire time, and it was just, it's just so frustrating. I have to put up with the main roster commentary, which isn't particularly up to par anyway, and will miss things out, and just completely be vague and not call the match. And then I have to spend 2 hours trying to get it on because the network has been updated, because you want it to look better and look all tidy and like be in these fancy little scrolling bars or whatever. And it's just ridiculous. If they don't make it accessible soon, it's gonna really affect my enjoyment of it, because I've struggled to get into SummerSlam today when I eventually got around to watching it, because of how annoyed I was at the whole experience of trying to get it on. Media these days is fairly inaccessible anyway. The reason that my videos are so bare bones is because none of the editing apps out there are accessible or anything like that, so I keep it stripped down so I can keep it to what I can do by myself. And it's just really, really frustrating when something that was perfectly accessible 2 months ago is at the point where I just really, really can't use it. And it's sort of annoying to me that I know for a fact that I could go out there right now and search for porn, and there's audio described porn out there, and I can't get on SummerSlam on the WWE network. It should not be harder to watch wrestling than it is to watch porn. And it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. All I want to do is just watch the pay-per-view, do the podcast, put out my review, and have a conversation with all of you about what it was like for me and what it was like for you. And it's just getting really, really frustrating. So yeah, a bit of a rant. Admittedly, this was the point. I did want to have this rant because I just feel like you should all know that it's really, really difficult to use the WWE network now. And you all knew that anyway because you've been struggling too, but you know what? If you struggle, imagine what it's like for me. Oh, God. I am really sorry about how much of a rant this was, but if you stuck through to the end, you're a star, and I love you. if you enjoyed the rant and you want to see what I actually think of SummerSlam when I get my review up in a few days or whatever, click subscribe and you won't miss any more. I'm Mason, and this has been Wrestling in the Dark, and that's why I'm super mad at WWE.